All right, my people, welcome back onto this channel. Well, this is another strong one reaching us. Still on the matter, my brother, my sister, either we like it or not, the solution is we must go our separate ways. Either we like it or not, the solution is Yoruba nation must stand. Bá a fẹ́ bá a kọ̀, Yorùbá nation ní láti dúró because gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí kò ń ṣe nǹkan kékeré rárá, ó ti ṣẹlẹ̀. This is another strong one that is actually reaching us. Yes, so majority of things are going on right now. Tinubu reigns of deception, destitution, and then hopelessness by Professor Usman Yusuf. All right, this professor has actually said a lot of things. So yes, a lot of things he has said. Yes, a lot of people say he's a Fulani man. You know, I told you earlier, these so-called Fulani people, we have the bad ones. Let me say the bad ones are more than the good ones. Yes, the good ones are just few. And then as it stands, he said a lot of things, though this man has said a lot of things. But the fact remains that when their own brother was dead, none of them came out. None of them came out to say anything. Now Yoruba man is there, they are complaining bitterly, but maybe simply because they have seen it all, that the bad thing they want to do, they don't have the opportunity to do that. Well, I think that's by the wayside. But with what Professor Usman Yusuf has said, I think his own conception about this is different from what other Fulani people are talking about. He has been able to go straight to the point, and he made mention of many things which has made everybody to believe that as far as this is concerned, the only solution would be we should just go our separate ways. Well, according to Professor Usman Yusuf, he made it clear that children of the poor continue to die needlessly from vaccine preventable diseases like measles, diphtheria, diarrhea, pneumonia, and then meningitis due to lack of access to health care, according to what he has said. On point, though, he made it clear that the reason why a lot of people, most especially children, are dying of this kind of diseases which are preventable are simply because of access to health care. They lack access to health care. My brother, my sister, according to him, made it clear that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's year in office has been one like no other. He has willfully turned Nigerians into destitute in their land of plenty, in a country that is officially not at war, and then has not experienced failure of a rainfall and then drought. It is very painful to see citizens, predominantly women and their children, go through the humiliation of queuing up for cups of rice as one sees in war torn Sudan or Gaza trips. Well, according to him, he said this harsh and intolerable condition is as a result of President Tinubu's inhuman, World Bank prescribed economic policies of sudden removal of fuel subsidy, massive devaluation of naira, and interest rate and electricity tariff hikes. Well, these misguided policies have resulted in galloping inflation, now at a 28-year high of 33%, and the food inflation rate of 40%. Well, in a country with 133 million, 65% of its population already in multidimensional poverty, and then over 20 million children out of school. These policies have added millions more citizens into multidimensional poverty and millions more children out of school because their parents cannot pay for their school fees. Well, millions of Nigerians, predominantly women and children, go to bed hungry with no certainty of anything to eat when they wake up. Heads of households are absconding from their homes abandoning mothers with children because they cannot feed their families. Well, the government answer to this self-imposed hardship is to provide food palliatives. On February 8, 2024, President Tinubu directed the release of 42,000 metric tons of grains from the strategic grains reserve to be distributed free of charge to vulnerable Nigerians. Well, it is now almost 4 months, but no vulnerable Nigerian has received anything. Well, the truth is that the federal government knows fully well that all its silos are literally empty. A northern governor that was co-opted into these rules went as far as declaring 5 work-free days for distributing what he very well knew were non-existing palliatives. It is depressing that 64 years after independence, Nigerians are being turned into beggars by their leaders. Well, our children's education has never been more imperiled than now because of the return of mass school abduction by terrorists. 10 years after the tragic abduction of 276 school girls in Chibok by Boko Haram insurgents, Nigeria witnessed 5 mass school abduction in Gasau, Dosima, Gada, Ekiti, and then Kuriga. In the first 8 months of this administration, in spite of these school abductions, neither the state nor federal government are doing anything to secure our schools because only the children of the poor are at risk. Well, Nigeria's healthcare system is in shambles, with many hospital wards across the country looking distressingly like abattoirs, and then primary healthcare clinics abandoned. The healthcare financing system has been hijacked by middlemen called health maintenance organization HMOs, to the detriment of patients and then healthcare provider. The recent hike in electricity tariff poses an existential threat to the survival of healthcare service in Nigeria. Many hospitals will not be able to pay the new tariff, as exemplified by a video clip of a doctor lamenting after receiving an electricity bill of 25.3 million naira. Well, there is a mass exodus of healthcare workers out of Nigeria because of the condition of our healthcare facilities, lack of work tools, and the poor pay for healthcare workers. Recent report by the Medical and the Dental Council of Nigeria (MDCN) revealed that there are 130,000 registered doctors in Nigeria, serving a population of 200 million, given a doctor to patient ratio of 1 doctor serving 1,500 patients. My brother, my sister, this is serious. Well, according to what had been gathered, the WHO's recommendation is that 1 doctor should serve 600 patients. 1 ratio 600. This ratio is much higher in many states, signifying that all Nigerians, regardless of their station in life in a very high risk medical environment. Well, millions of Nigerians have simply stopped taking their medications because they cannot afford them, and then have restored to traditional medicines and prayers, resulting in increased disease-related complications and then death. Well, recent data from the Nigerian Hypertension Society suggests that of the 70 million Nigerian adults with hypertension, half 35 million are not on treatment due to the skyrocketing drug prices. Consequently, doctors are now seeing more and more hypertension related complications like stroke, kidney failure, heart failure, and then deaths. In the last year, hospitals all across the country have been seeing an exponential rise in the number of children admitted with diseases of severe malnutrition, marasmus, and then kwashiorkor. Well, children of the poor continue to die needlessly from vaccine preventable disease like measles, diphtheria, diarrhea, pneumonia, and then meningitis due to lack of access to health care. Contrary to the official propaganda and the half-truth about improvement in Nigeria's national security, the reality on the ground, particularly in the northwest and the north central part of the country, says differently. Terrorists still control a large swath of the country's rural area. 15 and 9 years into the wars against Boko Haram and the bandits respectively. Well, the land is still drenched in the blood of the innocent. Villages are being ransacked and then pillaged. Villagers chased off their homes or abducted for ransom. Farmers are chased off their farmlands or levied on their harvest. Major highways still remain unsafe from terrorists who attack travelers, killing and abducting passengers at will for ransom. Ethno-religious conflict and the killing continue unabated. Well, my brother, my sister, I think a lot of things are actually being said onto this one, and this had been made clear by the man himself, Professor Usman Yusuf. Okay, onto this one, he actually made mention of many things, but if we take a look at most of the things he said, in fact, the major thing that has actually affected the country, if you talk about hunger, I would say the Fulanis, they are the major cause of the problem we are having in this country. And he is a Fulani man. He has said a lot of things, not even minding that he is a Fulani man. Fine, we understand that to an extent, but right now the truth of the matter is that he actually said most of the truth that is actually affecting us in this country. My brother, my sister, we have said it times without number. The only solution is divide this country. The only solution is let everybody go his separate ways. And then I think some of these Fulani people are beginning to understand what we are talking about. Well, we are talking about few of them, and that's why you can see some of them come out and they are blaming it upon the Yoruba president. But the truth of the matter is, when Buhari was there, it was worse. In fact, they made everything worse the way it has been today. The Yoruba president actually made all this mess. But that notwithstanding, a lot of things needs to be done, which is anyone who is talking about restructuring right now, I think that person is just out of point, because as it stands, restructuring, there's nothing that can fetch us. The only way, the best way, is let us go our separate ways so that peace will reign. My brother, my sister, this is so strong and exactly what it is. Onto this one, what more can we say? Meanwhile, let me have your own take, my people, on this, and remember to subscribe for more updates if you are just joining us on this channel for the first time. All right, thanks and God bless.